Hey guys, I'm back with a few fan tutorials, and these are my first ones, so I'm kind of excited about getting to teach this. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to do finger spins on your wall plane here. So this is just some basics that we're going to go over. First of all, I should say that these tricks might be different for you depending on your fan style. I have the ones from Home of Poi that have the finger ring as well as the main palm ring here. So yours might have, if you're getting them from Trick Concepts, you might have like 4 rings, or you might have the 2 like this, or they might be square. You never know, depending on where you're getting your fans. So just know that your trick might need to be done a little bit differently depending on your fans. So if you have the Home of Poi ones, here's how these are going to go. So you can see that I have the main palm ring rested against the heel of my hand here, this kind of part below your thumb. I have it rested there with my middle finger through the finger ring, right there. And that is what your fan is going to turn around, is that middle finger. I don't tend to keep my finger straight when I do it. That's a bad angle, there we go. I don't tend to keep my finger straight, I like to curve it so that if for some reason it should get wonky, it can't come just sliding off. And if I have it kind of hooked, then there's really nowhere for the fan to go. So that usually helps. So having your middle finger through the finger spin ring, and then the palm ring rested against the inside of your hand, you can't really do much from there because you have it blocked. And when you're going to do a spin, this part here is going to come up while the top part goes down, because these are essentially your heaviest parts. This will be your ring here, and the ridge with your wicks. Those will be the heaviest parts. So basically you're doing a spin, it's the heaviest parts are just going over each other, if that makes sense. So what you're going to do is you're going to tilt it back, and you're just going to let it drop forward. It's just going to be a fall. You don't need to huck it or anything. You sort of just let it fall forward, and as you do that, you're going to move this part of your hand so that it's out of the way of the finger ring, out of the way of the palm ring, and it can tilt forward. So you're just going to give it a little drop. And in order to stop it, you're going to reposition your hand there so that it's in the way of the palm ring. So you're just going to let it drop. Just let it drop. You don't need to really throw it. It uses mostly its own weight. So that's all you need to do is just right there. I've practiced doing this for a while, and it may be really wonky for a while. Your fan might be kind of tilting all to the side, and you might get fingers stuck in between the bars here. And I think it helps mostly to fan the rest of your fingers out so that they're as far back as possible and they're not up there with it. So if you can move your other fingers out of the way enough, that definitely helps this trick a lot, because when I was first starting out, I would get my fingers caught in the bars and then it would really screw it up. So definitely just make sure that your other fingers are out of the way. You can even just fold them down so that they're not going to be getting in the way there. So just get comfortable with that for a while. Try that a few times. I'll show you that from the front. Okay. And when you're ready, we're going to go the other direction. So instead of just dropping it forwards and just letting it fall, this way we're going to have to use this part of our hand against the palm ring. So instead of just letting it fall forward, you're going to push downwards with your wrist and move that part of your hand out of the way of the palm ring. Oop. So you use this part of your hand to shove this down. That's going to give it the lift. And once it gets to about here, the weight of the wicks on top is going to take over and send it downwards and back up. So you basically just need to shove it enough just so that the top wicks here, can just start to fall. So it's like going forwards where it's all that falling motion, and it's the same way going backwards, except for you need to give it a little shove to get to the falling motion. So shove it downwards, and then the wicks will come up, and they'll use gravity to pull themselves back around. Again, you don't have to like fling it towards you gunslinger style. You just need to give it a little shove. So practice that for a little bit. I'll show you it head on. Okay. Now we're going to try and move it up and down. So you're going to start up high, and you're going to tilt it forward, and you're going to let it drop while you move your hand down. Just one spin, one stop. So you don't have to throw your hand down, because you're probably going to lose a fan off this direction. But just let it fall, and just let your hand follow it. Like that. And you can try going higher and doing several spins. Just get really comfortable going downwards. And it's easier this way because you're going the same direction as your fan spinning. Your fan's spinning down, so you're moving your hand down. Just like that. Now when you feel comfortable with that, we can go the other direction. So you remember your backwards spin here. You're going to do the same thing, except you're going to start at the bottom, and you're going to give it a little kick to flip it over, and you're going to move your hand up. And when you're feeling comfortable with that, try adding in a few more spins on your way up. Now, try and go from the bottom up and then to the top down. So you go backwards, forwards, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then you want to repeat all of this in the other hand. So you get comfortable going both directions in both hands. And it's really imperative, especially with things like fans, that you learn how to do it in both hands, or else you're going to have one hand that's like ninja, and then the other hand just kind of like, hey. So definitely make sure that you're practicing this on both sides, and really have fun with it. So that's beginner finger spins. See you later.